Hope you're doing well. Let's get to some painting. Let's see, it's Sunday, the 23rd of November. I've got the whole week off, so I couldn't be in better shape. I guess I could have set up a little better before starting my stream. I scooted my camera on the right back a little bit. I was kind of experimenting with cameras a little today. I don't really like the quality of the panel cam, but it's not the camera. I hooked up my my fancy Nikon Z8 today, and really didn't improve the quality very much. So I'm not sure what to do. The quality right now is what it is. I wish it was a little better though. Yeah, today we're just going to work on this a little bit more. I think today is my 9th live stream, which is kind of cool. I haven't really started posting this to my social media yet, so I've got very few followers, but I figured I'd get a couple paintings in and maybe some shorts and a couple videos in, and then I would start posting to my social media. I didn't want to make like an announcement and then not really have any content. Mediums out here. I remember to put my glove on this time. So I made the mistake of watching some Kai Lung Q videos last night, and I'm kind of half-assed joking, but he's just so good. And his process is just so different than most people's. Maybe I'll share some links sometime. The video was him doing a demonstration for, it looked like some kind of online community. I think it might be his Sentient Academy community. See, am I blocking you guys? And I mean, I've taken workshops from him before, so I get it. But he's just like, it's like watching a magician. And I hate saying that. I say it all the time. I hate calling these masters magicians because it kind of takes away from all the work that they've obviously put in perfecting their practice. But to those of us that are trying to learn from them, it's magic. I've been painting for county landscape painting, over 10 years now, and I just watch somebody like Kai paint, and I'm just like, it's just a magic trick. Yeah, you definitely got me on on an inspiration kick last night. Same thing that always happens when I watch his instruction, or I've even got some videos and I think I've taken 2 workshops from him. And the same thing that always happens. First, I get super inspired to paint and try to attempt what I'm watching on his videos. And it sounds kind of defeatist, but I'll try it. I'll get all my stuff out. I'll start a new panel or canvas and or gessoed piece of mixed media paper, and I'll try to emulate what I'm watching, and the same thing always happens. It's just like, Jesus, I'm lost. I don't know how he did that. How all of a sudden was there a bunch of brush strokes and now there's an eye? It's just magic. It's the only way I know to explain it. You just got to see for yourself. I know it's not magic, Kai, but it's magic to us mere mortals. Definitely check out his YouTube or his. He doesn't have actually a lot of content on YouTube, but he's a great follow on Instagram. Gosh, I want to say he's got 30 or 40,000 followers now on Instagram, and that'll give you an idea because he's got some time lapse videos of him doing his thing, and it'll either get you hooked or get you to quit. I'm not quitting yet, Kai. I'm not quitting yet. But yeah, the same thing always happens. I bought a bunch of paintbrushes that he uses. I bought the same. He was doing his demo on a gessoed kind of mixed media paper. I think it was actually watercolor paper. So I bought not just 1 pad, but 3 pads of the same paper. Sorry, I'm looking at my drawing real quick. I bought, what else did I buy? I bought the pads. I bought some brushes. Watching him reminded me I needed to buy Richard Smith's family put out a new portraits and figure painting book, so I had to buy that. I'm not going to tell you how expensive that was. It was really expensive. But it literally got me on an inspiration. I don't know what you call it. Fever? Oh, I listened to an hour and a half podcast of he was a guest on. I literally went to bed listening to the guy talk about his upbringing and his art upbringing, and he reminded me, I knew this from, I know Kai, but I know that I knew that he was associated somehow with Daniel Keyes, and I know they have similar styles, but I guess Daniel Keyes was an early mentor of Kai's, and so that got me on a Daniel Keyes tangent. Thank goodness I had the day off because I spent a lot of it, I'll call it researching my favorite artists. And then, of course, Casey Bao is associated. I try to see, I got to send Casey an email. They're all kind of Richard Schmid disciples. And I think Casey quit. I don't know if he quit painting, but he quit publishing stuff on YouTube. I'm way too early with this brush. Really should have done some measuring before starting, but just doing some measuring real quick. That's annoying. That blue thing is a knitting needle. Kind of my measuring utensil, but I've been finding that it's a little short. So I always end up using one of my long brushes. Too early for detail, but I kind of want to play with it a little bit. My dog didn't like that noisy car. Tomorrow I need to do something healthy. Get out on a hike or something. I didn't do much today at all. Just some chores, but I love this brush. And I think I told you I ordered 5 of them, but they haven't shown up yet. So like I gotta keep rinsing it, and it makes the paint so thin because I'm going from the black pupil to the iris to the sclera, which is the white of the eye, and I'm using the same brush. It's way too early to be working on this. You guys must think I'm high. Those eyes are so bad. I'm not high. Izzy, stop it. Hey, Izzy. Sometimes I think she makes gross sounds just to see how long it'll take me to yell at her. Must be what parents feel like. brush for this. This brush is a little too soft for this. It's almost like the value range is so narrow that I feel like I gotta exaggerate the darks so that the lights look right. Might as well fix this mess. I'm quiet because tell my drawing is all out of whack, and I'm trying to fix it. I guess I'm in troubleshooting mode. What I really need to do is stop and measure, but I keep not doing that. Which just means my next session I'll get to spend it fixing stuff. Maybe I will take a second and measure. All right. It's good to stop when when you know something is wrong and you can't figure out what to fix. So what I do is I take a picture with my iPhone, and then I clean up the edges and the distortion with an app called Genius Scan. That lets me do stuff like, you can't really see it, I guess, but it lets me clean up the borders. And then I send that to my iPad where I'm using Procreate, and what I'll do is I'll take the image and lay it over the top of my source image. I'll take the new image and lay it over the top of my source image. It takes a second or two because my iPhone has to sync with my iPad, and then it takes a second to layer the new image and adjust it. So let's see, insert the photo. Chelsea Lang has a good video on how to do this. Let me plug in my iPad. Maybe I can show you. Let's see here. I've done this before. Let's see. Maybe I'll wait to put my glove back on. So camera and Pro. Yeah, there we go. So this is an app on my iPad called Procreate. And what I've done is I've taken an image of this painting where it's at. So that's my reference image, obviously. This is the current state of my painting, and then I've turned the opacity down. I usually turn it down somewhere around 60%. And then we want to layer it over the top and adjust it. I try to use the eyes. And then I'll kind of tell you where your painting is with respect to the reference image. So it looks like her left eyebrow is a little high. The nose is pretty good. The lips are pretty good. Everything is pretty good. I'm feeling weird about the eyes, so let's kind of take a look at the eyes. And the eyes aren't too bad. What is bad is that eyebrow. I've got, that left eyebrow is way too high. So yeah, let's try to bring that down a little bit. And then sometimes what I'll do, so I could take my little scratchy scratch my, so I think that eyebrow needs to come, I mean, it almost is half its width, right? And that means I gotta erase this whole top section. So I might as well scrape it. Well, let's grab a paper towel and see how bad it is. Anyway, so that's about it. Usually I'll start every couple days, I'll check, or if I don't know, if I can't figure out why something doesn't feel right, then that's when I'll bring in that approach. It's cheating, but I said it before, the last time I demoed that was what did I say before? Okay, let's get a new paper towel. I feel a little better now. Eyes aren't so far off, and now I know it's just a matter of just keep refining them. I kind of need to find that color too. It's not so gray as that. There we go. That's a little more like it. In that right eyebrow, it's kind of in the right spot, but it's thicker towards the bottom. Oops, that's, what color do I have there? So it just needs to come down more. Just kind of experimenting. I'm so off with the dark colors. I talk about David Gray a lot. He's one of my favorite artists. And I've taken a few workshops from him and a mentorship, but painting around these eyelashes reminds me that he said that he doesn't paint eyelashes. And he's kind of a classical realist artist, classical realism. So his paintings are super accurate. But sure enough, Google him or hop on his Instagram, and you will see for yourself that his paintings don't have eyelashes. And I am super aware that my time would be so much better spent not painting freaking eyelashes. But I just can't help myself. You guys can't see it very well, but I made like my brush made a really dark on the very top of that eyelash. It made kind of a really dark area. And if you leave that edge raised up like that, you'll regret it because it just doesn't look right. And if you don't change it now, with that big heavy edge, it's a lot harder to change it later, especially considering where it's at and what it's next to. And the problem with me a couple years ago is it looks almost okay. But the current me knows that I could do better. And then at some point I'm going to want to go in there and fix it. So now's the time to do it. Kind of the same with this section over here. It starts out high, but then it goes sharp. thing is wrong. This whole thing is wrong. Easy enough. Boy, she would just sit there and lick herself. Still gotta make those eyes green, but we'll do that. We'll do that soon enough. I don't want to stop now, but my back is sore. That dog is so gross. All right, you guys, I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. I think tomorrow I'm gonna laminate, I'm gonna print out and laminate this photo so that I can color match. I'll show you guys tomorrow, but you literally mix your color and then you could test it on the laminated photo, because when you put the brush stroke of your paint mixture down onto it, if you got the color right, the wet paint will disappear against the color on the photo. It's a Mark Carter. He has a YouTube channel called Draw Mix Paint, and he's got a couple cool tricks for mixing colors and matching colors. And I just don't know how to. I'm really struggling with those really light skin tones and the darks not being where the darks normally are supposed to be. Normally, in most of the paintings I've ever done, the darks, and like the way I've learned it, the darks are, you know, under the brows, under the nose, under the top lip, under the top lip, under the bottom lip, and under the chin. And then of course we talked yesterday about, you know, the egg shape, you know, making a sphere. But with this light blasting her from the front and the bottom, or at least the right side, the shadow shapes are all in weird spots for me, and I'm having some trouble getting the, well, not just the value, I'm having trouble getting the color as well. So it might do me some good to do some color mixing against the surface. Another thing you could do is, like with my iPad, you could put some saran wrap or clear cellophane over your iPad, and then you could, you know, check your colors against the cellophane. But I have a nice printer and I have a way to laminate, so for me, I'd rather do that than worry about the surface of my iPad. But yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon.